Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In this particular video, we are going to continue with our mapping series and are going to discuss the most important dams of India. Many times in the UPSC Prelims examination in the recent year, we have seen a trend of question being emerging where they are asking match the following questions. On one side, you have the name of rivers, other side, you might be given the name of the states or the regions through which these rivers are flowing, and on the third column, there are the name of dams, and you have to match that where the rivers, the states through which they flow, and dams are correctly matched or incorrectly matched. So, in this regard, it is very important to just keep in mind that where do we have dams in India, what rivers dams are located upon, which state are they located in. So, before coming to each of these dams, if you look at briefly, India is very important country from the perspective of understanding of the dams and its role in the irrigation hydroelectric generation, and it is because India ranks third at a global scale in number of large dams. That means if you talk at the global scale, the highest number of dams you will find in China, at second rank you have USA, and at third you have India. The number of total large dams is about 5,700. You can imagine 5,700 dams scattered all across the country. This is as per the recent data published by the Central Water Commission. Multipurpose objectives these dams serve for Indian people. For example, dam water is used for the irrigation purposes. Dam water is also because they are continuously flowing out, they have kinetic energy. So, we tap into this kinetic energy to largely generate hydroelectricity, and also because this method of generating hydroelectricity is environment friendly in nature. That is why Government of India is also encouraging such kind of electricity production. Plus, in many parts of India, the construction of dam was largely meant to control floods, and the best example of this we can take in the Damodar river. We know that Damodar was earlier called as Sorrow of Bengal. Why? Because especially during the monsoon time, it used to flood the entire lower region of Bengal as such. So, several series of dams, a number of dams actually were constructed across Damodar river, and thus through that regulation of water was possible, and thus now from sorrow it has converted to boon because it is helpful in riverine transportation, it is also helpful in irrigation, and thus more cropping can be conducted here, carried out here. It is maybe because of these significance of dams, the first Prime Minister of India Jawaharlal Nehru, who envisioned dam structure, dam construction, who was the guiding force behind the major projects just after India's independence, referred these as the temples of modern India. This one line should highlight the significance that dam have for our nation, for our country collectively. Now, if you take a look at the dams across the world, across India, so first is one of the largest dam. Basically, many times you would see they are referred as together, Bhakra Nangal Dam, but they are not one dam, they are actually two dams. So, if you look at this map here, this particular map, you have the river Satluj. Satluj river, as you know, originates from Tibet, and then it flows through a pass. This pass is called as Sipkila Pass. So, from Tibet flowing through Sipkila Pass, it enters into Himachal Pradesh. After Himachal Pradesh, it flows across the Dhauladhar range, the part of Himalayas, and that's where you have two dams, Bhakra, and slightly down means further, you have the Nangal. So, Bhakra plus Nangal, both dams you will find across the river Satluj. Which state? Answer is Himachal Pradesh, and on the other side you have the Punjab. So, Himachal Pradesh and Punjab as such. What kind of dam it is? That also sometimes become important to understand. So, it is an example of concrete gravity dam. So, what does it mean? Now, see, two terms are being used here. One is concrete. What does concrete means? It refers to the material that was used in construction of these dams largely. So, it is made up of concrete. But what does gravity dam mean? Gravity dams are such dams which are kind of very broad at the bottom. Suppose this is the rock structure over which dam has been constructed. So, at the bottom they are very broad in nature and becomes kind of narrow as you go up further up. So, broad at bottom, narrow at the top, that is the shape. Gravity here means that how dam is able to control the flow of river, it is by its weight generally. So, river water is suppose flowing here. So, river water apply horizontal force because it is trying to flow, and dam because of its weight it does not allow it to flow. So, river water is applied, kind of downward force is applied by dam structure as such. So, it creates a stability and river water start to collect in a reservoir here. So, to explain again in brief, what is gravity dam? Such a dam that uses the weight of its material and its shape to ensure that stability is maintained and river water is not able to flow anymore is called as gravity dam. So this, if you try to look here at this map, now it is very clear. This is the Bhakra Dam, as I was telling you before, and slightly further south, we can say west, you have the Nangal Dam. So collectively, this is why you call it as Bhakra Nangal Dam, because when dam is constructed, it is nothing but wall-like structure. So obviously, the Satluj river that is flowing here, it begins to swell up, and that's why you have the collection of large volume of water here, which is referred as reservoir. So question can also be asked, what reservoir is formed due to the Bhakra Nangal Dam? The answer would be Govind Sagar Reservoir. So Govind Sagar Reservoir you will find around Bhakra Nangal Dam, and currently a proposed project is there that excess river from the Satluj can be transferred to the Yamuna, and that is the proposed Yamuna Satluj canal to provide water to the states of Haryana as well as Delhi as such. So Satluj Yamuna link canal, that also keeps coming in news as such. When we talk about Bhakra Nangal Dam, it also is historically significant because it is one of the largest dam that we constructed in India just after independence, was completed in year 1963. The overall height of this dam, you can understand, is 226 meters. So that's why has a very large reservoir. Govind Sagar Reservoir is very large reservoir, contains huge volume of water, and through these reservoirs obviously the water can be supplied through the inundation canal, can be supplied through the irrigation canal, and that's why in 1970s, when we ushered in green revolution in India, we know that the benefited state, most benefited state was Punjab, Haryana and Western Uttar Pradesh. To some extent, we can say the water for irrigation was supplied by this particular dam itself. That's why it is also referred as the backbone of green revolution. Because if you try to slightly understand, green evolution was largely a result of the introduction of high yield variety seeds in India that in very short period of time caused multiplication of the yield, basically the increasing up of the yield, and those seeds can only grow and basically you can say germinate if there is sufficient high amount of water. So high irrigation need was met by this project, Bhakra Nangal project. It's very important for food security perspective. That's also how we can try to connect as such. So anyway, that's the first dam, major dam, that is Bhakra Nangal Dam. Second dam you will find is above river Mahanadi. Mahanadi river originates from Chhattisgarh, Shihava Plateau. Then it flows in the westward direction, eastward direction, and then it enters the state of Odisha. So when it enters the state of Odisha, that's where Hirakud Dam has been constructed. So which state? Odisha state. Which kind of dam it is? Composite dam. That is, multiple different type of materials has been used to create this dam, such as rock fillings. So you have concrete, mason, stones and all that. But overall largely earth plus concrete. These are two most predominant material used here. So that's the Hirakud Dam. About Hirakud Dam, briefly if we try to understand, 1957, even before Bhakra Nangal Dam, Hirakud Dam was set up, it was constructed. It is about 4.8 kilometers long dam, so very long dam. And the main reason why this dam was constructed over river Mahanadi, because again as Mahanadi river moves toward east, it keeps on getting heavy amount of rainfall either due to the monsoon or due to the cyclone also, and that's why in Odisha suddenly the volume of water increases. Not only that, where the Hirakud Dam is constructed, it also receives water from several of its tributaries such as Ib River. So that's why the flooding was a very frequent phenomena in the plains of Odisha due to Hirakud Dam. That is why it was constructed. Then you go further to the north, and one of the major dam you will find in the state of Uttarakhand is the Tehri Dam. So Tehri Dam is located in the state of Uttarakhand, somewhere we can say the northern western part of Uttarakhand. This is the Tehri region as such. So that's where you have this Tehri Dam. Tehri Dam is example of earth and rock filled dam. That means you have the filling of rock that is done when dam is being constructed. It is suitable for such regions. Rock filled dam, you will see basically this is constructed in such areas which lie in what I can call as seismic zone, where you have probability of earthquake. Rock filled dams are believed to be more strong, believed to resist such kind of shaking and are durable in nature. So that's why in Tehri we have constructed. So if you try to think, you have Himalayas, greater Himalayas, lesser Himalayas, all passing through Uttarakhand, and as we know, Indian plate is continuously colliding with Eurasian plate, and thus we know that stress is continuously building up in the rocks. So whenever the rocks get compressed enough, they break. When they break, a fault is created that generates seismic wave. So this seismic wave creates earthquake. That's why the construction material that is chosen here is rock filled type of dam. This is relatively a very new project. 2006 was the year when it was completed. Now interestingly, this is believed to be the tallest dam in India with a height of 260.5 meter as such. Seismic zone concern we have discussed. So failure might happen if very high magnitude earthquake someday we see in Himalayan belt as such. Then Sardar Sarovar Dam, which also keep coming in news, it was a dam that resulted into large scale protest also, that is referred as the Narmada Bachao Andolan somewhere in the early 2015 when the height of this dam was expected to rise. So constructed over one of the west flowing rivers of India. See, if we talk about peninsular plateau of India, majority of rivers are flowing in the eastern direction because entire peninsula is tilted from west to east. But in the case of Rift Valley that you have between Vindhya and Satpura, Narmada and Tapi are two west flowing river. Why? Because there the valley is tilted from east to west. So very important point to keep in mind, Narmada, west flowing river. State, it is located in the state of Gujarat. It is also example of concrete gravity dam, same as you have discussed in case of Bhakra Nangal. This is also concrete gravity dam. It basically resists the water pressure by its sheer volume or sheer weight more specifically. If you talk about the map here, so this is river Narmada. It originates somewhere in the central part of Madhya Pradesh from Amarkantak plateau. Then it enters into state of Gujarat and then flows across Gujarat near Bharuch is a city. It drains out in the Gulf of Khamba. So just where it enters into Gujarat, we have constructed the Sardar Sarovar Dam here. And interestingly, if you look, because dam creates a reservoir, so you have excess volume of water. This water you can divert by constructing a canal, and that's what exactly government of Gujarat has done here. It has created a canal called as Narmada Canal, because from the Sardar Sarovar Dam through the Narmada river, water is being transported further up northward and then further up westward. Why? Because these are dry areas of Gujarat. You have less rainfall here, deficit rainfall here. So some amount of water is being supplied that is being used for the household activities as well as even for the agricultural activities. So very important from perspective of ensuring water security to the arid regions of Gujarat. Completed in 2017 and height is about 138.68 meter. It is linked to Narmada Valley project that we have discussed before. Now very interesting, the tallest statue of the world, as you know, is the statue of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, also called as Statue of Unity. It is located on the near the Sardar Sarovar Dam itself. So as you can see from here, this is the Statue of Unity and just 4 kilometers away you will have the Sardar Sarovar Dam. So Kevadia is the name of the place here. Then next is, if you come to the peninsular India, one of the major river, actually the second longest river of peninsular India is which one? After Godavari. Godavari is the longest river of peninsular India. So Krishna river, about 1400 kilometers long river, Krishna river. It flows through state of Telangana. It first of all originates in Maharashtra. In Maharashtra it originates in what we call as Mahabaleshwar. So originating from Mahabaleshwar, it then flows, then it enters into Karnataka, then it enters into Telangana, and in Telangana we have constructed a masonry dam. Masonry dam means here basically you have the stone blocks along with the, we can call mortar as a paste is being used here. So stone block, rock block plus mortar paste, that dam is called as masonry dam. It is also one of the oldest dam of India. 1967 was when it was constructed and very vital because Telangana again is a plateau area. It is kind of dry area if you look at rainfall precipitation. So that's why it is also important from the irrigation perspective for the farmers here. And several other dams you will find further to the south. Sri Salam Reservoir you will find here as such. Pulichintala project is near the Nagarjuna Sagar Dam project itself as such. So very critical for both Telangana as well as Andhra Pradesh. Then in the central part of India again over Narmada river you have a dam called as Indira Sagar Dam. Indira Sagar example of again concrete gravity dam, same as that was in the case of Bhakra Nangal. It was also completed in 2005. And what is the most interesting fact about Indira Sagar Dam? It is believed to be the dam with largest reservoir capacity in India. Reservoir again we have discussed, a dam is a wall-like structure. So when it stops the flow of river, the river water gets accumulated here and this is called as reservoir. So in terms of the volume of water that can be held by the reservoir, it is largest in capacity. And this is kind of this dam as you can see from here, Indira Sagar Dam located over river Narmada. Interestingly, if you look, Narmada river actually flows across two hills. In the north, hill range is called as Vindhya and in the south, hill range is called as Satpura. So because of the valley-like structure in which Narmada river flows, it becomes relatively easier to construct a dam, especially because this area is free of any kind of seismic activities, a stable land block of India, landmass of India. So several dams government has constructed over it. So interestingly, if you look here, I told you in Gujarat, Sardar Sarovar Dam, Here in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, sorry, you have Indira Sagar Dam. Apart from that, two other large dams you will find here. One is the Bargi Dam and other is Maheshwar Dam. So this also you can keep in mind. These are not very big dam, but name wise you can just keep in mind here. Maheshwar, Bargi, Indira Sagar, Sardar Sarovar. 4 dams. All of them are located above the river Narmada in the central part of India. Then a very interesting dam that was constructed called as Koyna Dam. So if you look at here, you have the Maharashtra, state of Maharashtra. In the state of Maharashtra, you have a river called as river Koyna, and Koyna river actually is tributary of the river Krishna. So when Koyna river joins Krishna, before joining Krishna, it flows in the southward, northward, southward direction. So somewhere in the Maharashtra, a dam has been constructed in 1963. It is example of rubble concrete dam constructed by use of concrete as well as rubbles as such, and very important from the perspective of hydroelectricity generation, because Maharashtra is one of the most industrialized state of India. So a lot of industries are getting water from this dam. Interestingly, very interesting point you should keep in mind, Koyna Dam is associated with RIS event in case of India. RIS stand for Reservoir Induced Seismicity. It simply means that when dam is being constructed, reservoir is being built up. When reservoir build up, water volume increases. This accumulated water then applies what you call as the hydrostatic pressure on the rocks below. When the rocks are not very stable, it causes displacement and disturbance on the rocks that cause it to vibrate and shake, that generates seismic waves. The seismic wave, when they reaches the surface of earth, they causes large scale tremors that results in earthquake. So when the dam was being constructed, about 6.7 magnitude of earthquake was recorded, that scientists has attributed it to the reservoir because of Koyna Dam. So rocks shook causing earthquake. So very interesting, one of the only case of the RIS based earthquake in India. So keep that in mind. Then we have the Idukki Dam. Idukki Dam, if first you try to look at the map here itself, Idukki is a region in Kerala. So this region you can see, this is the Idukki Dam here. So overall you have river Periyar. So first it passes through a dam called as Mulla Periyar, then passing through Vandi Periyar, Uputhara, it reaches Idukki and then further flows like this. So Idukki is located on the river. Which river? The river is Periyar, one of the most important river of Kerala. It is example of arch dam. Arch means we are talking about the shape. So dam is of arch shape. So this is the main wall and then you have the side wall. So in arch dam what happens? The water, basically the pressure of the water, pressure of river is largely held by, or we can say largely felt by the side walls of the dam rather than the main wall of dam. So all the pressure is on the side walls. That is what we can talk about, is the arch dam. Completed in 1975, built between Kuravan and Kurathi hills. 2 hills, these are part of Western Ghats of Kerala. And there you have Mulla Periyar Dam also, you can see from here. It is a very important dam because there is always a dispute between the states of Tamil Nadu and Kerala related to the Mulla Periyar Dam, as Kerala believes that dam is defunct. Basically defunct means it is very old. It was built during the British time. So Kerala government has a stand that this dam should be dismantled because it can anytime lead to failure that can cause heavy flooding in the Idukki district. And Tamil Nadu government, largely farmers of Tamil Nadu, they depend on the Mulla Periyar Dam for the water supply. So they believe that it will be harmful for them, harmful the farming interest, agricultural interest. So government of Tamil Nadu believes that dam still is operational, functional. There is no structural problem as such. It should be allowed to continue in its original form. So this has created every time Mulla Periyar Dam dispute between the countries, between both the state. Now coming to the dam in the eastern part of India, it is called as Rihand. Rihand is the name of river and Rihand is the name of dam also. Which state? Uttar Pradesh. That is Uttar Pradesh. Which kind of dam? Again, concrete gravity dam. Same like Bhakranangal. Material used for construction is concrete. It enforces its weight, it basically uses its weight to we can say stops the supply of water, flow of water. Completed 1962, and due to the development of formation, we can say construction of Rihand Dam, a reservoir has formed here. What is this reservoir? The reservoir is called as Govind Ballabh Pant Sagar Reservoir. Govind Ballabh Pant, GB Pant, one of the notable freedom fighters of India and one of the most prominent politician of the early years of Uttar Pradesh. So to honor him, the name of dam is Govind Ballabh Sagar Pant Dam, Govind Ballabh Pant Sagar Dam. Then we have Mettur Dam. Mettur Dam is over river Kaveri. Kaveri river, as you know, it originates from Kodagu or Kurg district of Karnataka, and then it flows across the Karnataka plateau, Bangalore-Mysore plateau. Then in Karnataka, we will find KRS Dam here, Krishna Raj Sagar Dam. Then it further flows in the eastward direction. It descends in the Tamil Nadu plain further, but before that descent, another dam has been constructed over it called as Mettur Dam. So Mettur Dam is over river Kaveri in the state of Tamil Nadu. Again, example of concrete gravity dam, completed in year 1934. It is one of the oldest dam of the southern India, and the reservoir that is developed here is called as Stanley Reservoir. Further, after it, the river Kaveri keeps flowing in the eastward direction and it drains out in the Bay of Bengal after forming a large delta. Very, very important from the agriculture perspective, water security perspective, and that's why probably the delta of Kaveri region is also referred as the Garden of India or the granary of South India. So that's the Mettur Dam. Then next we have is Tungabhadra. Tungabhadra river is in Karnataka. It is tributary of river Kaveri. So Tungabhadra river, basically you have Tunga river, Bhadra river. Both of them join together to form Tungabhadra. So these dam has been built over the river. Example of earth fill plus masonry dam. Again, earth filling plus stone blocks along with mortar paste has been used to construct this dam here. Completed in year 1953, and this dam plays a very important role because it is along the border of Karnataka and the nearby Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. This region is referred as Rayal Seema region, which is relatively a dry, arid region. So for irrigation of the Rayal Seema region, water is supplied by Tungabhadra dam here. Then next we have is Ukai Dam. Ukai Dam is built over another important river, one of the two west flowing river of India. One we already have discussed, Narmada river flowing in a rift valley between Vindhya and Satpura in the westward direction. To the south of Narmada or to the south of Satpura, you have another river called as Tapi river, which originates from Betul plateau of Madhya Pradesh in the Multai tank, and then it flows in the westward direction again in a rift valley like a structure, and then it enters the state of Gujarat, and then through Surat it drains out in the Gulf of Khambat. So in the state of Gujarat, you will find a dam that is being constructed here, Ukai Dam. So Tapti or Tapi, both names are used, so do not get confused. Tapi is same as Tapti. So Earthfill Dam completed in 1972. It is considered as the second largest reservoir in Gujarat that is built because of Ukai Dam, Ukai Reservoir as such. Then last we can talk about is the most notable project that Government of India commissioned after the independence is Damodar Valley Corporation. Again, in the beginning I told you, Damodar was referred as the sorrow of Bengal, known for its flood causing tendencies in the plains of Bengal, and that's why such project became vital here, and it was inspired by a similar project in the United States of America. It is called as the Tennessee Valley Authority. Tennessee is a large river in USA that also had similar kind of flow pattern like Damodar river in Chota Nagpur Plateau. So largely in the state of Jharkhand and West Bengal, dams have been constructed, established in 1948, and the main objective was to control the flooding in the river Damodar. And if we have reservoir, and in dry season, in the dry monsoon, winter season, we can use this water to irrigate fields also. Plus, we can also generate hydroelectricity as the river is flowing from plateau to plain area. So, series of dams are part of Damodar Valley Corporation. Names I can write here, you should keep that in mind. So, you have Tilaiya Dam, for example, or Barakar River you have tributary, Tilaiya Dam. Then you have Panchet Dam. Then we have Maithon. So these are the important dams, most important dams that actually are part of the entire Damodar Valley Corporation project. So these are major dams you should keep in mind from prelims perspective. Plus, if any dam is coming into the news, if it is covered by newspaper due to some changes, structural changes, or due to the dispute and all, we should definitely take a look at those. Now, contemporary issue is the Enforcement of Dam Safety Act that was brought by Government of India, Parliament of India in year 2021. It focuses upon the efficient management and operation of dam, and also to ensure that any safety related issues of dam should be addressed as soon as possible so that the catastrophe, if any happens due to dam failure, might be minimized and can be reduced. So that's one thing. Second is, we know that in the peninsular part of India specifically, due to the rivers being seasonal in nature, many of the rivers are also a issue of dispute. So Kaveri river dispute, Krishna river dispute, Mahanadi dispute, Mahadai dispute, you have we can talk about Godavari river dispute. So these interstate water dispute also create a challenge in the construction of dams if required, because state do not want the other state, especially if it is the upper riparian state, to construct a dam over it. Why? Because if the state is constructing a dam, it can regulate the flow of water, and the lower riparian state fear that the water supplied to these states can be minimized and can be adversely impacted. Environmental displacement issues, definitely we have recently Upper Siang Dam was making a news headline that is proposed by Government of India over river Brahmaputra, or Siang River as it is known as, in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. So there the concern was that such kind of dam construction might cause displacement of tribals. More than 18-20 villages has to be emptied out. So large scale protests we have seen erupting there as well. Plus when we talk about the Kain Betwa river interlinking project, there also some sort of dam has to be constructed that will cause submergence of large part of Panna Tiger Reserve. So that would raise environmental concerns as well. Sedimentation problem, however, is the major problem that most of dam in India faces through, because as the river is stopped due to the presence of dam wall, the sediments brought by river began to settle down at the bottom. These sediments which began to settle down the bottom over the years keep on building up. Thus, the overall water volume that can be contained by a reservoir gradually reduces. Capacity of reservoir, we can say, gradually reduces. And also what will happen if capacity reduces in case of any uneventful rainfall, in case of cloudburst, in case of monsoon surplus rainfall, what can happen? The probability of floods would increase. So sedimentation problem has to be solved. Continuous dredging and removal of sediment should be done, especially in the Himalayan areas where rivers are bringing up large volume of sediment. Plus climate change impact is also talked about by scientists. The dam can have impact and role to play on that also, as it causes the uneven distribution of water in the entire structure of the earth as such. So that's all about this particular video. I hope you got the idea about the important dams, on which rivers are they located, which state are they located in, and what is their important point and significance. That's all for this video. Thank you very much.